Now shift our attention to India. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is currently offering prayers at the historic Bhumi Pujan of the Ayodhya Ram Temple, or the groundbreaking ceremony as it is known as. The ceremony will mark the beginning of the construction of the Ram Temple in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya district. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is currently attending the ceremony along with a few top leaders from the country. The Indian Prime Minister arrived in Ayodhya. Now for more details, our political affairs editor Kartikeya Sharma is joining us live. Kartikeya, a very good afternoon to you. Now it is a historic day indeed for the country. Explain to our viewers the significance of the Ram Temple and of course its construction, which will soon get underway.
Afternoon, Priyanka. The significance of the groundbreaking ceremony which is being conducted right in front of us is multiple. At a political level, it's about the campaign which was started in 1980s by then Bharatiya Janata Party President Lal Krishna Advani, has culminated today because it went through a number of court proceedings. It went to High Court where the land was divided into three parts, which was not acceptable to the either sides. The matter went to the Supreme Court where suo motu cognizance was taken, and ultimately a decision was taken by the Honorable Court saying that it's a matter of faith and the land was accorded to the community. Right. But if you look at the tweet of the Prime Minister when the decision came, it was very, very categorical. He categorically stated that this temple, instead of dividing people, should become a symbol of unity. Right. And let past be past, let bygone be bygone. But the larger issue here is that we have all witnessed a shift in the way cultural symbols have become incorporated in our politics or political language. And this has happened through electoral process, which did not kickstart in 1970s or 60s. I think it was there from 1950s onwards. I would illustrate it with an example. And I think it was also a very important chapter in the passage in the Indian history. For example, when the Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister, there was a proposal. Then Mr. Munshi, a minister, the Congress party wanted to renovate the Somnath temple, and there was a bitter debate between then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. On the other side was the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, right. Deputy Prime Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Mr. Munshi and many other people. Now Jawaharlal Nehru had a view that this should not be done, but many others felt that this has nothing to do with religion, but it has also all to do with the cultural symbols, and the Somnath temple in Gujarat should be renovated. And Jawaharlal Nehru did not participate in that ceremony. But then what eventually happened was the President of the Republic, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, actually went to Somnath, and half of the Congress party was present there, then in power, and the process of renovation of Somnath started taking place. And today it's one of the biggest, I would say, 4 districts which adjoins Nepal, couple of districts in Bihar. And then, we have created that circuit for our Buddhist community, and world over people come. Right. So there is a proposal that it should be like the way the Mecca is treated or the way Vatican is treated. So there is a way Ayodhya can also be treated and seen from that prism, that it becomes a symbol of cultural unity, and it also can be part and parcel of an economic grid. So there are a number of proposals, there are a number of thoughts over it, but as of now, I think if we keep aside the bitter history, it should only be seen as a symbol of reconciliation, as a symbol where a controversy must come to a rest, because the courts have taken a position and they have given an order, and the verdict is being implemented. And we are talking about Ayodhya, we are talking about temple. The land for the mosque has also been granted. Right. So 24 hours before the ceremony commenced, the land was parceled out and all the administrative proceedings regarding the land had been completed. A mosque can be built there.
Right. Now, as you rightly pointed out, the construction of this temple is also an effort by the government to promote religious tourism like many other countries follow. Tell us a little bit about the challenges of holding an event like this during a pandemic. As we can see, everybody's following strict health guidelines. The PM has arrived in Ayodhya in nearly 29 years, and only about 5 people will be allowed on the dais. So tell us a little bit about the kind of political presence that we can expect.
I think basic minimum, I would say Anandiben Patel, because she happens to be the governor of Uttar Pradesh. Yogi Adityanath, because he happens to be the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's a constitutional functionary. So the people on the dais have been decided by who needs to be there at that point of time. If you look at the way Ram Janambhoomi movement was organized, then you probably would end up with 100 people from Sadhvi Ritambara to Uma Bharti. It's a long list, because people forget that it was not one movement. It was organized in multiple phases. So, you had one yatra from Gujarat to Delhi. You had another yatra from Delhi to Bihar, where Advani got arrested. So, there were a lot of routes to it. There were a lot of periods to it. There were a lot of days to it. So, I think what they have done is they have curtailed it to few people. And secondly, there is another reality to it. The symbol of the cultural nationalism, the expression of it, it's being expressed through Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is no doubt about it.
Right.
The sort of handsome win he had in 2019 was unexpected. 2014, people thought it was a black swan election, but then critics were proved wrong with the result in 2019 as well. So I think they have tried to limit it to those people who are directly associated with the imagery of it. And secondly, I think there is a conscious attempt on part of the government. And if you look at the tweets and the sort of messages which have come out, to actually move ahead. And that is why people are talking about Ramayana in Cambodia, the Southeast Asia, the larger global imprint. And there is less focus on what has happened in 1980s and 90s. So I think there is a conscious effort to move ahead.
Right. All right, Karthikeya, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and for all your insights into this story. Let's now take a look at some more live visuals coming in from Ayodhya, where the Bhumi Pujan ceremony just took place. That is a groundbreaking ceremony. It's on your screen, where the Bhumi Pujan ceremony just completed, and the Prime Minister is expected to lay the iconic 40 kg silver stone. To lay the foundation of 40 kg silver brick will be laid to mark the symbolic start of the Grand Temple at that spot. That is the birthplace of Lord Ram. And he just laid the 40 kg silver brick. That is a foundation stone which marks the beginning of the construction of the much anticipated Ram Temple. There are more than 175 VIP invitees to this mega event, among which there are about 135 priests, along with spiritual leaders as well. However, on the dais, only 5 people will be allowed, keeping in mind all the health protocols that need to be followed during the COVID-19 pandemic. On the dais will be the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, the Trust Chief Nritya Gopal Das Maharaj, Uttar Pradesh's Governor Anandiben Patel, and of course, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The Indian Prime Minister just participated in the Bhumi Pujan, or groundbreaking ceremony, to mark the beginning of the construction of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya. And earlier he visited the Hanuman Gadi Temple and offered prayers there as well. This marks the return of the Indian Prime Minister to